Riots, violence, demonstrations, heated debates, national attention, and 12 million undocumented immigrants and counting. There's no surprise that illegal immigration is once again a hot-button issue. The flames of the fire spark. No wonder that Arizona chose to strike while the iron was hot, per se. Kairos was definitely in the air. April 23, 2010, Arizona lawmakers, and more specifically, Republican Jan Brewer, governor of Arizona, signed in one of the most strictest and controversial bills versus illegal immigration of our recent times. And it has been a long time coming considering all that Arizona has been going through. Immigration reform is a fiery topic when it comes to America, and the law in Arizona was the flame that once again sparked the fire of urgency in what we need to change our immigration laws. And there are two major parties, as we know, two major political parties, as we know, in the U.S. overall that are talking. Okay, but here today, for rhetorical purposes, I will analyze the polar extremes of what went on in Arizona, and I will also examine the polar extremes of the two political parties. So, very right-wing Republicans, very left-wing Democrats. Okay, so Arizona's plight and how it came to the center of the immigration reform battle. First of all, there has been congressional inaction. Our government has basically not been the strongest when it comes to border security. And if you know where Arizona is on the map, you know that it's right near the Mexico border. So from there, Arizona, Phoenix has become the kidnapping capital, according to CBS, where not too long ago, they had at least one kidnapping a day. And actually, they had 1.2 million pounds of marijuana that was taken by police in just this year. And there's so much violence going around. People are scared. And since Arizona felt that the bigger government wasn't doing anything, they had to step in and they had to make their own law. So there was Kairos, time for action. And there was frustration. So here comes the Support Our Law Enforcement and Safe Neighborhood Act. As many of you know, this law obligated police to make an attempt to reasonably determine and detain people who they thought were suspicious of not being citizens or legal immigrants in the United States. But how can you tell what a legal person looks like? And that's where the controversy was. People couldn't believe that this was happening right in our back door of the United States. They felt that our rights were being taken away. So the Supreme Court made a ruling that basically shot down most of the controversial parts of the law that you guys have. So what's next? People are on the opposite sides of the fence, literally, when it comes to this. So there's an exigency for immigration reform. So here we can first look at the Republican Party. What are they for? More border building, mass deportation. They just want to take back our country. They're for the jobs. They're for the jobs for Americans, basically. As you all know, we're going through a recession and unemployment is very high. So they feel like, why should people who are not even citizens come and take our jobs when there's Americans who need jobs? And then we have the Democratic Party. They're for more of comprehensive immigration reform, one that Obama just introduced into Congress not too long ago, maybe about a year ago, I would say. And basically, it would have some parts of amnesty, but it'll try to work through because it doesn't see mass deportation as a viable mechanism for getting all the illegal immigrants out, especially when they are considered to be the backbone of our country doing jobs that most people wouldn't do. So I guess you could say the Democrats are more sympathetic, and they feel that it has to be a systematic, not just like a fast-paced way to get them out. So where are our values? I guess you could say right now the polar opposites, in order for everything to work, they need to come together. But in the end, illegal is illegal, right? So what to do? In the end, the reality of the situation is illegal immigration is a crisis in the United States. Should we vie with the Republicans and deport? Should we vie with the Democrats and have a comprehensive immigration reform? Should we come to a compromise without biases? But as for now, the parties are not really coming together, and this is why we're still in the same spot, even though so many bills are being introduced, but they're being turned down because people just can't come to a compromise. But the truth is, this is not done. Just this Tuesday, Arizona introduced a new bill that will take on birthright citizenship, which is basically when, usually when people are born in the United States, they're naturally given citizenship. But now Arizona is making a law that will deny it, which they're hoping will be taken to the Supreme Court, which will finally get that denied altogether. So this is another controversy. So as we can see, this issue is not going anywhere anytime soon. So people will just continue to keep fighting until we can finally have a good solution.